we're back. I like that episode a lot. I thought it was a really good episode. I think it's a whoa. Who is ASMRing right now into their mic? What's going on?
It ain't me.
Okay then. Anyways, I really like this episode. I thought it was kind of what I've been expecting from this season, and I finally got it. It's kind of the issue is it's a little too late. I mean, like you can't have the season kick in the year at 7. I mean, you can, and that's fine. It'll be an average season if it continues like this. But to me, it's on this one episode. It's very, very good. I think we got so much strategy in one episode. It was edited pretty well. I felt like it wasn't too confusing, and really the only thing that was confusing for me was this like almost last minute split vote that happened, and also the fact that, of course, in perfect fashion, Carolyn plays her idol when she doesn't need to here, even though
because she's a dumbass.
Right. So, but it does kind of line up.
I'm starting to hate Carolyn again, low-key.
It's perfect for her arc that of course she builds this whole thing up. I'm gonna say it, and then she doesn't even have to use it. So I'm shocked that they actually did try and flip on them, but then Carson only gets 2 votes, and yet Carolyn still plays the idol for Carson, and those 2 votes are negated. And then there's some sort of, I guess, last second split vote with Tika, and I don't know who. There's no way Heidi was in on right?
No, I can tell you who voted for who.
Okay,
I mean, if you want me to.
Go.
All right, so the 3 Tikas all voted for Danny, except I don't know what Lauren was not Lauren. I don't know what
Sky just muted himself. Okay, so we know that the 3.
I'm pretty sure it was Jamie and Lauren flipped with Tika.
Yeah. No, so Jamie and Lauren voted for Heidi. Danny and Heidi voted for Carson, and the 3 Tikas voted for Danny. But for some reason, originally Carolyn voted for Lauren, and then scratched it off, and then voted for Danny. I guess
she was probably thinking of like a split vote.
Yeah, well, I think she was scared they put the votes on her or something if they did a split vote and played an idol, so she put a vote on Lauren, like just in case or something like that.
Yeah, I don't know how that would. I mean, I guess she was worried that her own vote would be Danny, I guess. But maybe. Okay. So it's basically I guess what happened is the Orange Tribe flipped back with the Tikas, so the idol was unnecessary to play here.
Yeah.
Which is like so whatever. But at the end of the day, I do still really appreciate the strategy, even if a lot of it wasn't.
What's great strategy? Like, there's no great strategy that happened here.
You don't think there's any good? The whole.
I mean, from Carolyn, definitely not. But
Jamie and Lauren
again
are
to clarify. I'm not talking about anyone playing the game masterfully. I'm talking about this is very complicated strategy here compared to what we.
What was complicated about it?
Well, we were awfully confused. I mean, we start out the episode with Danny and Heidi going back and forth. Danny finding out that he voted, she voted for him, but then not really. It starts out as what seems to be just another regular Sokka versus Ratu fight. Then I believe the next thing that happens is Danny tries to target Yam Yam, right? And then Yam Yam. Does he target Danny back originally, or was it Heidi?
No, they were still doing the whole like, oh, who should we pick between them? And then Yam Yam wanted Unity, and then all of a sudden they're like, wait, hold up, they might try to vote us out. And
right. And so then Danny goes and grabs Heidi and the Orange Tribe. They're finally working cross, which is what we've been asking for forever. Really, they're working together to blindside Carson. And then somehow Carolyn sniffs this out, probably just because she would always sniff like something like this out because she would always be nervous about this, even if it was.
Well, she also did a lot of sniffing stuff, back in the day, if you know what I mean.
I don't know how much it is.
Yeah. So then Carolyn sniffs this out. Basically just tells Carson that she has the idol. She plays it for him with the risk of obviously it coming back on her. That wasn't necessary, actually, because it was a bad move. But it still, of course, led to a bunch of
surprised that Carolyn made a bad move.
Right. And then, exactly. And then,
I'm mad at what's it? Lauren and Jamie.
They're agreed. But yeah, and so she plays the idol. It wasn't necessary because in reality, the Orange Tribe flips on the Green Tribe here. I don't understand the idea of how this episode had no strategy to you. But
I didn't say no strategy. You were saying it was great strategy. I'm just saying it was pretty simple. It's what we've been saying it's going to happen. We said at this part,
just
Danny's meant to grab the other two, Jamie and Lauren, with Heidi, and vote out one of the Tika 3. That's what happened. But then Jamie and Lauren are stupid and didn't even try.
They're really bad players.
I think you're oversimplifying
That's what
the
happened.
strategy down. Say it again, Bitter.
Danny, their only option was that 4 to get together and take out the Tika.
Right.
And that's what happened. And
But
then
again,
it didn't
Bitter,
happen.
that's like saying at the merge of Heroes vs Villains, probably just play 2 idols and the game went home. That's it. Like you're
playing 2 idols
oversimplifying.
is way different than
But no,
just voting out the obvious 3
it's-
people in charge.
It's the exact same thing. You're taking a complicated situation and oversimplifying it for the basis of your argument. No?
Okay, so if it wasn't simple and I still said it's simple, but then if it was simple and I said it's simple, how would it?
Huh?
Like, I don't get what you're saying.
Bro said, huh?
How do you differentiate what I'm saying is simple? No matter what I would say, you would say it sounds simple. The way I'm
Right.
saying it.
You have the ability to oversimplify everything. You're just happening to do it with this.
It was very simple
complicated.
strategy. I don't
It
understand.
wasn't.
It's
At
like the
least
most
sorry.
common strategy in
Well, hold
Survivor.
on. Let's back up. I think that it wasn't. Sky, what do you think of the episode?
Well, if we're talking strategy wise, I mean, their strategy just it wasn't good.
That's fine. That's fine.
I
I mean, to be fair though, I mean, most strategy is bad strategy. Like, right? Like,
but there was like a lot.
only one voting block can be right. I mean, there's most
break
people
it
are going
down.
most people are going to be wrong about something, right?
That's true. But
No.
like, there was a
You
lot
can
of
still
people
say the
wrong.
strategy makes sense, even though it didn't work out.
I don't know because I mean I think Carolyn invited what's it called? Not Heidi, Jamie, and Lauren to her Breaking Bad meth lab or whatever. Because I have no idea why
why
vote for Heidi. There was
that
no
is
good
so
reason.
that is so dumb.
There is
of-
no
of-
upside
of,
to that.
Jamie and Lauren to why are you voting with the strong 3 that you just said? They are quoted in this episode, Jamie and Lauren saying, quote,
Zero
they are
upside.
going to pick us off one by one, and then you vote with them to vote out Danny and Heidi so much that you actually split the vote down the middle.
I mean,
what?
it's not. But
What
the
do you
thing is
do?
now it's tied between Tika and everybody else now, right? So I mean, maybe there's a Roger next episode, but I'm thinking more someone's gonna find the idol, right? And I hope it's not one of the Tikas because there's now gonna be an idol in play, right? Because I think next episode's
Yeah,
one of the last rounds for the
Do
idol.
you
being
think people?
played.
I mean, I was gonna say, do you think, especially now that Danny's gone, who's gonna look for it? Like, if Danny's the only one who looks for idols.
I mean, doesn't Heidi have an idol? Doesn't she have something?
Heidi has an idol.
Yeah, true.
And
They
I
may
get
not
why she
hide
didn't
that.
play it. I get why she didn't play it. By the way, I don't think that was a bad word to not play it. But
Yeah, I mean, obviously, it was a great move, not to
yeah,
keep
she played it
here.
for Danny,
especially because she betrayed Danny last episode. Like there was no need to keep her ally here, similar to how Danny did with Franny a few episodes ago. But to me, I was gonna say that I think that the overall the strategy was good. The confessionals were pretty clear and concise. I wasn't bored for most of the episode. There was a slight bit at the start with the whole like first maybe 10 minutes that I was like, but then of course as the strategy picked up and the idol talk picked up and Carolyn being nuts like drove the entire second half of this episode. The challenge was a classic. It started to pick up for me. Of course, my critique that I'll keep going back to is that why is it picking up now? It's too late. It's final 7, right? Like we only have 2 episodes left, and now it's going to pick up and
It's
and
not
be
going to
like-
pick up though.
You're
What do
so
you
on brand.
all you okay? This is look at the layout right now. We have the
You're
Tika
so on
3
brand,
been
Bitter.
in charge
I
for the
love
last
it, Bitter.
like
I love it.
5 votes against
Go
the
ahead.
the strategic masterminds of Jamie, Lauren, and Heidi. Wow, this is going to be engaging. Final 6 TV.
Bitter. I didn't. The point that I'm making is that
You're saying I'm
I did
saying
not-
there's no
if-
chance. Even if you, I'm giving you even if this episode you consider picked up.
Pause. There we go.
Beep,
Okay.
beep, boop, boop.
What I'm saying is, if it picked up, it wouldn't matter because it's been too late. That's all I said. You're arguing with
Okay.
yourself right now.
I'm not arguing. I'm just saying I'm giving you okay. This episode picked up. We'll say that it picked up, even though I disagree. But even if it did pick up, there's no chance of it continuing to stay good because the next episode
Okay.
is the 3 people who've been in charge the whole time are now only versing Jamie, Heidi, and Lauren, who are like the dumbest
Right.
players
Bitter.
on the
That's
season.
Bitter. What I'm saying is, even if it picked up, it wouldn't matter. I'm not saying that it's going to pick up. I'm not guaranteeing that. Now, would I be surprised if it didn't pick up? No. Would I be surprised if it did? Also, no. I mean, to me, I think either it's going to be a pagonging, or at least for this next episode, similar to how it was in 41 with the Danny boot at 6, where it's just like it was obvious like he's going to go home here. Deshaun and Danny are on the bottom, but it also could not go that way. To me, I'm not predicting anything as far as strategy goes. I'm just simply saying that this late in the season, for it to finally pick up in the post-merge after a pretty promising pre-merge, definitely the best pre-merge, at least in my personal opinion, so far in this quote-unquote new era, to have it then teeter down for the first 4 or 5 episodes of the merge, quote-unquote merge here. It's unfortunate that it's just now picking up strategy-wise, when to me it's just the boot order has been very unforgiving on this season. What do you think of the episode? Go ahead, tear it apart, Peter.
Yeah, I think it was pretty lame.
He thought it was PB poo poo. If you want.
The editors like hinged all of their editing on what a great play is going to be by Carolyn playing her idol.
Carolyn sucks. I hate her. I'm sorry.
No, I know. I'm agreeing with you. She does suck.
Like
the editor.
There you go.
The editors are hinging on this great gameplay by her, when in reality it was just Lauren and Jamie were never on board with taking out one of the Tika anyway. So really, now you don't know why they flipped, which is actually what you need to know, because that happened, and we get this bull crap. Carolyn making a great move that didn't matter.
I got a little film.
Well, I mean, I'll let you go in a second. I'm just going to refute by saying they did show them saying that they don't trust Danny at all. I mean, to me, that is reason enough. I mean,
okay, but like we don't get any of the 3 Tikas convincing them to jump back on their ship.
Well, they didn't. They said that they don't trust Danny. They
didn't jump back over with Tika, and then they split votes with them.
What?
That's what you're saying?
What are you talking? The votes.
I'm
the
saying
votes are split.
At some point, Tika and Jamie and Lauren worked together to get this vote to happen, right?
Right. We saw the scene where they say we don't trust Danny.
Okay. That's all you needed. Okay.
It's not all I needed, but it's
very
something.
great TV.
Yeah, this strawman argument's not going to work here.
It's not a strawman. I didn't say you said something.
Go ahead, Sky.
I think Carolyn's brain actually is messed up and does not work properly from all the drugs she's taken in the past. She is like one, just like, oh, I can't trust you guys. What? People vote against you in Survivor? Or is that not allowed?
Yeah.
And then the face you made in Tribal Council, when people are like saying like very like not that arguable stuff, like what? Huh? Like she might be mentally retarded. I'm just saying. But like.
It's funny because Danny's asshole edit reached a peak in this episode for his boot. And it's so funny because everything that man's saying right now throughout his whole edit, like this post-merger, he's been portrayed as some sort of asshole since I believe the Kane boot episode. It's all true. It's all true. Everything he's saying is true. And they put and they put a kitchen nightmare screech after what he's saying, as if it's something absurd or something.
But no. Because Queen Carolyn is
retarded. He's like, no, it's a game. Like we have to play hard, and I see it like a fight. Like we started out not as aggressive, and now we're more aggressive. And they put a retro scratch. Like it's just like, what? How is that controversial? Like that's common sense. And it's just, somehow they make it into, but of course I get it. Like he's the big blind side. He has to get that bad edit. But I definitely saw through the edit there. Where
Carolyn's takes are so stupid.
I could totally see what they were trying to do here, making Danny like the asshole, especially building up, and you know what? I did like the fact that 2 people were arguing at Tribal. I mean, it's been a minute. I mean, Danny and
I just think the argument was so dumb because
it was dumb.
It
was dumb, but at the end of the day, dumb arguments is literally what fuels reality TV. So
Danny was just saying very normal stuff, and then Carolyn's like, "I'm actually a dumbass, so I'm gonna disagree with you," and because I don't get it. And the face she made, literally, she made a face. I swear, every single time someone said anything remotely competent. Oh, what? This is so crazy, bro. And then she spends 5 minutes up in the freaking voting thing, doing crystal meth. Probably, she probably snuck some in, and counting the votes. It took you that long to count the votes. It's not that hard.
Doing crystal meth is crazy.
There's 7, 8 people left in the game. It is not that hard to choose who to vote for, bro, or count at least.
Tim
I don't think she can count more than 10.
Tim says, I thought Tika could convince Lauren and Jamie, the Ratus, to vote for Heidi in case Danny played the
they're
idol.
too stupid.
Bash Carolyn all you want, but she has amazing insight. Bitter response.
No.
The insight part, you don't think she has good insight?
What
does that mean, good insight? Detail? Like she's smart, or like she just gave us good insight? I mean, on what
Tim isn't on the podcast here.
I'm just confused how they convinced Lauren and Jamie that because Danny might play an idol. He's not.
But they never showed us them even making the decision. Like it really. Like I don't even think they. Showed
hold on. Pause. You're not actually saying that they should just show the Ratu people flipped over, completely decided.
No. I'm
they
saying
never do that. That's not how Survivor works.
I don't think they even showed them considering the possibility of it.
I think them saying that they don't trust Danny at all, to me, was enough. Maybe you want to see more.
Maybe just because the opinion was so terrible that
I think part of it was that the focus was on the idol so much, so we just assumed that the Sokas and Ratus were voting together because that idol had got so much focus.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, because the idol got so much focus and it didn't even matter.
But
I'm still trying to figure out Tim's point.
That Carolyn has insight.
They're saying they used the worry that Danny would play the idol and now one of them would get voted out. But if they're voting with Danny, they have the numbers. Why would they be worried about that?
Well, if they're voting, but they're voting for Danny.
I thought he's saying that's how they convinced Jamie and Lauren to
vote for Heidi, right?
Yeah, but why would I'm saying, how does that convince them to work with them over Danny and Heidi?
Probably because they're more concerned about. Well, that also. But I think maybe I'm going to try and make his argument for him because obviously they convinced them to flip over in some shape or form. Or, of course, this kind of second option. And the thing that I think happened is the Ratus just decided to go. They didn't get somehow convinced, but they decided themselves to go. And once they're over, it's an easy, a grab, I guess, to tell them, hey, let's split the votes, Heidi and for Danny. So I don't know. I understand what he's saying.
Yeah, and at that point, that's not really that impressive.
I mean, I don't
once
I don't
Lauren
see how
and Jamie
that's
flip over.
move.
It's not impressive to convince them to vote for Danny.
I would agree that
Yeah.
I don't think that's necessarily good insight by Carolyn as much as maybe Carson and Jam. But then again, it seems like we only kind of got Carson and Jam early on the episode, and then late on the episode it was just Carolyn. Doesn't
that make Carolyn look even worse if she knew they were voting Danny, because then she played her idol still?
Yeah, it makes, obviously Carolyn is going to be shown as emotional. She was shown as emotional constantly, but at the end of the day, she was on the right side of this vote. And at the end of the day, despite the fact that she played her idol and it was off by one vote, right? Like Carson got 2, and if he had gotten 3, it would have been a great move, but because he didn't, obviously it's not. I don't think it's the worst move in the world. I don't think it's completely wasted. And I do think that she could get up there at Final Tribal. And if, she articulated it well, which obviously Carolyn's going to have a tough time there, she could explain why she played it and not at least mitigate part of why it looks stupid.
Yeah, I don't think it was a terrible move to play the idol, but at the end of the day, no one's going to count that as a win. That's not like a W.
Fair enough. I think Carolyn has to blindside both Carson and Jam anyway to win the game.
Yeah, somehow she could pull Lauren and Jamie to the end with her, then she deserves to win. But
right.
I don't think she's going to do that.
Which honestly, dude, I think it's very likely. Maybe like a Heidi and a Lauren, or a Heidi and a Jamie is more likely. Because again, Jamie's confessional. Remember the one, Sky, you half remember because we're always talking about this. Jamie's confessional this episode where she's just her nasty smile. Oh, so annoying. I wanted to rip my TV apart in half.
I was more annoyed by Carolyn though this episode.
No. Jamie's episode, she's like, oh my god, I love this.
Oh,
game.
that one, yeah.
Shut up.
I'm so
die.
Yeah, that one.
Come on now. What are you doing? What?
Put her in a blender. You know what I'm saying?
To me, Jamie and Lauren are Sandra, two Sandras on this season without the personality.
Sandra. I mean, she kind of does look like Sandra. She got the same build. You know what I'm saying?
Same character.
They're both useless by themselves players, but Sandra's at least entertaining. These two aren't.
And Sandra also at least wins. So
Toji says, "How would you guys rank the new era seasons? I'll go first.
Do we count 44 on this list? Or?
Yes,
okay.
And we're ranking 44 based on the first 11 episodes of the other seasons, I guess.
Okay.
Or maybe
Sure.
How about this? Let's do what you assume is going to happen, or I guess like what's a fair assumption?
I think it's fair to assume one of Tika's going to win. One of them.
I think that's fair based on whatever you think is fair of how this season is going to play out. Rank 44 as such. So if that's the case, how I think it's going to play out, I think both of the people in the chat here have it right here. It's 41 and then 42 and then 44 and then 43.
Bingo.
Based on the fact that from 12 to 7, or sorry, from 12 to 8, we just got nothing. I mean, we got things like.
Wait, which one was the best?
So much potential. I'm kind of pissed off.
Okay.
Yeah. What about you?
No,
Sky?
I agree with that.
This season had a lot of potential. That list, that's 41, 42, 44.
It did, and then it just from 12 to 8. I mean, we're talking 5 episodes in a row. We got nothing. 13, great. Now, 12 to 8, nada. Wait, hold on. Actually, was the 12 one the merge one where?
Wait, hold on. No. So no episode. What are we talking about? Oh, one of them was we're talking about how many people left in the game. Yeah, 12 people is how much were when they merged.
Who was the merge boot again? Who was it? It was Josh, right? Yeah, Josh.
Yeah. Well, that was not actual merge boot. It was actually whatever.
Yeah. No. 12, and then 11 was not good. 10 was that the Danny playing for Franny, right?
Yeah.
That one was okay, and then back to bad for 9 and 8, and we finally got one, decent one.
I think the season can beat 43, but it has to have a really good.
Really?
Correct.
I think if there's 2 episodes left, right? I think
if
they're both really good episodes, they can beat 44.
Both episodes have to be just as good as this one, and one of them has to be really.
No, I think
really,
they both
really
have to be better.
Yes, correct. Yeah, basically yes, but basically, for this season to beat 43, you're gonna have to see one like a Jesse Boot type of episode for somebody here. It would most likely be Jam, Carolyn, or Carson, and then we're going to have to see a satisfying winner. So basically, Jam, or Carson. I think at this point,
actually, I would be okay if Heidi won. I wouldn't be mad if Heidi won.
I would be. I would rather see a Carolyn win at that point because
that's crazy.
Yeah. Because I mean, we've seen her so much now. At least it makes sense. Heidi winning would not make it to me any sense here because pre-merge we saw almost nothing. Now I get it; they're like trying to build her up, and I do think she's not the worst player in the world. Don't get me wrong. I just think she's being built up as too good of a player, compared to what she actually is.
Who, Heidi?
Yes, correct.
What has she done that's good?
No. She's being built up in the edit as a good player or whatever.
As like a potential.
She did do the split vote thing that once.
Because the whole point they're trying to build her up is like, oh, she like turned on Danny and like, oh, she's a badass. Like, and they're like trying to specifically separate her from people like Jamie.
I thought they were trying to. I thought they showed that as like a dumb thing she did.
No.
I thought she was going to get 40.
I think they
voted out this episode.
I think they like purposely are trying to separate people like Heidi versus people like Jamie, right? Because although you may put them in the same spot because they're both getting kind of the same amount of edit, we're clearly seeing one being shown as competent and the other being shown as an absolute jackass. So I mean, I think that is kind of the point. The reason why I wouldn't be so angry with a Carolyn win, one. No matter what you say, Bader, I mean, there's people who played worse games on this season than Carolyn, much worse. I think you can probably point to 5 people.
No, I didn't say she's the worst player on the season.
No, totally. But I'm just saying, like, I think maybe you're poo-pooing on her game. Just a teeny bit.
I'm not even poo-pooing on her game. I'm not saying she's like, oh, terrible. I even said the idle play makes sense, but it's not a W.
That's fine. But
how's that crapping on her so hard? I don't understand.
Well, I see. You just made up words. I didn't say crap.
Those words weren't made up.
Well, I was gonna say shit, but I changed it to crap.
I didn't say either of those things. I said poo-pooing.
I mean, my point is that the whole season is very lackluster in terms of gameplay from everybody. So there's not really much separating any of them in my mind.
I don't know. To me, I think on a basic character level, this season doesn't rely on specific characters as much as a season like 43 did. I mean, to me, aside from
relying on
aside, well, hold on. To me, aside from Jesse and Cody in 43, the next best tier of characters is people like Noelle, people like Gabler, which is not bad at all. But
who was the big girl?
Carla.
Fat.
They
You
added
don't
her as
even
a main
remember her
player.
name. Come on.
Yeah,
Now.
but they
Nose ring
added
girl?
her as a main player.
Yeah, I get.
What was
Okay, then sorry. I'm just not sold on Carla. I guess we can.
I mean, I'm not sold on her. I'm
disagree.
just saying
We can disagree.
she's
on
edited
that. But
as one of the
to
players.
me,
in that season.
in this season, I think overall that the quote unquote top tier is Carolyn, Jam, whatever, and then your like second tier, you're looking at your Danny's, you're looking at your Carsons, and
That's it.
I don't know, yeah, exactly, similar to how Gabler and Noel are the second tier for 43, and to me, I just think overall that the cast is more balanced. With that being said, of course, this boot order has been very disappointing, where we've seen a bunch of people who have not gotten at all an edit so far go out. I mean, the biggest edited person that's gone out so far before Danny was Franny. It's like as we go on, more important people are going out, but the episodes aren't necessarily getting better until this episode, which is too late. I mean, 7 is just too late. And so I look at the strategy from 43. I also think, to me, it had the exact same problem. It kicked off way too late. I mean, the first real boot was like, I guess, the Noel blindside, but to me, the real first great episode was, and really to me, the only great post-merge episode was really the Gabler blindside on Ellie at the merge, and then also, of course, the Jesse, blindside and Cody. That's 2 great episodes. And in this post-merge,
better on 43.
Okay, but I mean, as far as just looking at the episodes, I think it's very comparable. And then you, of course, go back to pre-merges, and I think 44's is clearly better than 43's, which leaves you really hoping for this last part of the season to fill in that, Jesse blindside and Cody moment. Like, can it live up to that? And if it does, then this season will be better just based on the fact that it has a better pre-merge. But if not, then, of course, this season will just have been too little too late. Right. Let's answer some questions in the chat. To story of your life. Would you say 44 is overcorrecting for 41, 42, 43, having out of field and unexpected winners? Go ahead, Bitter.
I don't know. I don't know if it's, if you think about it, right? The final, like if you look at the final 6, it's kind of like they had to edit Tika as the big stars of the season because of how lame the other 3 are.
Right. I mean, Bitter, I'd actually be curious. I kind of have my own question, because I remember we had talked about this kind of leading up to this season. We were hoping for an alliance that would stick together and make it through and tough it out. And there's no way to cut it. We've gotten that. I mean, the Tika 3.
Careful what you wish for.
So are you now regretting that? Or
no, I mean, I'm fine.
Is there like a perfectly timed excuse for why you're angry about it, or what is it?
I'm not angry about it. I'm fine with them sticking together. That's fine. It's just I wish I cared about the 3 more,
Really? I mean, to me, I think Carolyn and Jam have gotten very good edits and have sufficient arcs. To me.
Having an edit is, you can have a good edit and I can not like you as a character.
Well, no, it isn't. It is. I'm not asking if you like them. I'm asking if they have sufficient arcs and sufficient edits.
No. I said I'm fine with this. I'm fine with them doing what has happened with that 3. I'm just saying, I personally, myself, no one else, I'm not a fan of the characters. So
gotcha. It wasn't about your opinion, though. I'm asking,
You're asking me my opinion.
No, I'm asking you the fact of them being in a group. Do you think that is a good thing for this season? Yes or no?
I'm going to say it's good. That's an opinion.
What? That is an opinion.
No,
the fact is that they are a final 3 that stuck together.
Right.
I can't dispute that. I don't know what you're asking.
I'm not asking you for your opinion on this season and how it affects it. I'm asking you, is that good in general for groups to stay together?
I mean, sure. Sure.
Wow. Took a long time. All right,
but
next one.
See, the thing is, even in Modern Survivor, the group sticking together, they still jump and backstab each other, right? Last episode, they didn't keep each other.
I think that's a good thing, right? Like, you don't want the group to stay together so far that they just never blind each other ever, and they just get to the end all together, and it's the final 3.
I get what you're saying.
That's the worst.
I think that's the worst when it's that's a group of 5 or a group of 6 doing that. When it's a group of 3 sticking together the whole time, I'm fine with that.
I don't mind a group of 3 making it to the end, but I think in a season like, for an example, Tocantins, I didn't mind seeing them, but blindside. Is it Taj? Right, Taj. Yeah, Taj. Because at the end of the day, it's like, to me, that wasn't very necessary to see all 3 of them at final 3. Of course, different scenario. Final 2. I get it. But the point that I'm making is I don't think it's necessary for them to sit together the whole game. But I mean, the truth
I'm
matter
not saying
is
all the way to
the
the
Tika
end.
3 is still strong 3, and they're still together in its final 6. That has to be said for something, no?
Not it's. I mean, I don't know what it says otherwise besides they stuck together, but
Yeah.
And also, it kind of shows how bad the rest of the season, like the players are, that no one did anything about it.
I think specifically it shows how bad the Ratu people are. And also Danny and Heidi as far as managing these Ratu players. But at the end of the day, Danny and Heidi and Franny and Matt can only do so much. I mean, they came in a great spot, and the Ratus have continuously blown the game for themselves round after round, trusting the wrong people, specifically the Tico group, every single time, and gotten burned every single time, except for this one where they got what they wanted, but now they're in the minority.
I would say it's kind of Danny's fault if you think about it, because he took out probably the only logical player on that tribe in Brandon, right? And then he takes out his own tribe in Franny. And they backstab each other.
I don't think Brandon was the savior on that tribe. I think as a whole that okay. Well, I didn't say you said that. I said that I don't think that. I think that, to me, that tribe was a lost cause from the start. Very dumb tribe overall, especially without Gathu. And you come into the merge, and they've shown that they just cannot play the game. Specifically, Kane has shown he can't play the game, and Jamie and Lauren are not much better. I get it. Maybe Brandon is the best of the worst there, but I don't think Brandon was someone who, if he stayed, would have changed the course.
I'm just saying Danny played himself into this position where his number one ally, he can barely trust her, but he doesn't know he can't, which is bad gameplay.
Possibly, but again, I go back to the same point, which is that he played himself by having to deal with this dumbass Ratu tribe that doesn't understand that these Tika members are blindsiding them.
He kept the dumbest,
the smarter one player.
But that one also had a lot of control over the Ratu. So if he kept Brandon, he probably could have wrangled up the rest of the dumb ones.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but Brandon was not lasting 2 more rounds after that, and there's no way.
But that would have changed the game, though, even if he survives that one round.
I disagree. I think Brandon goes at some point, and the Ratu tribe is down to the dumbasses. I mean, that's it.
Brandon goes at some point, but maybe they're also down a Tika at this point.
That's fine if they're down a Tika at this point. As far as the Ratu players being bad, that doesn't change.
I agree. Ratu they're terrible players.
Right.
I'm saying Brandon was at least he could understand logical moves, and Danny and him had a bond.
And I'm saying that doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter here to me.
Does that not matter? I'm saying Danny played him into a position where he was only dealing with dumb players. That's a fault of yourself.
Right, but I think at the end of the day, he would have still been dealing with dumb players because Brandon still would have gone out relatively soon after that. Does that make any sense to you?
No, I get what you're saying there. Okay. I'm saying, but maybe he could take out a few of the targets that were the only obstacles in his way, which was, Yam Yam, Carson, and Carolyn.
Right, but Danny didn't plan the Brandon blindside here.
Yeah, he did.
No, he plays the idol, but
his plan was to take out Brandon with the idol.
Right. Okay, well then. The point I'm making is that Danny didn't want originally to take out Brandon here. And I don't think that, Danny goes into that round thinking, let's go after Brandon. So I don't think that he specifically chose to take out the best player on that tribe. And if anything, I think it was more of a group mentality that surrounded Danny. And I don't think, again, that Brandon staying in the game for one extra round would have changed anything here as far as the Ratu tribe being bad.
Well, I'm saying multiple moves. He also takes out Franny after just saving her. That doesn't make any sense.
Okay, so now you're switching to the Fran. Okay, so go ahead and say it, Franny.
I'm saying, okay, so imagine if Danny does these 2 moves different, right? He keeps Brandon and he keeps Franny. Now he has Danny and Brandon and Franny longer, and maybe Jamie and Lauren are gone.
Wait, he played the idol for what are you talking about?
He also voted Franny out. I'm saying that moment.
Right, but Franny was going to vote him out. I don't understand what's
that's what I'm. But okay, then he shouldn't have played the idol for, and then he still has an idol.
So now you're going back on it, and you're saying that he should have let Franny leave the game. So is it that he should let Franny stay in the game or leave the game?
My point is, Danny did not play an optimal game. He has himself to blame.
I never said that he played a good game. I'm saying that the Ratu tribe is dumb. That's all that I said. That's it.
Okay, I was just elaborating on it more with Danny. Well, because some people are saying I was rooting for Danny. I think Danny played pretty terrible.
Interesting. Anywho, let's move on to this question. Captain Cold says, "Is this the worst mid merge in the new era from 12 to 7?" I don't know, because 41 is close. 42 definitely not. That was the best part of 42.
41 was bad.
Despite the whole Drea nonsense. To me, that I think might be the best stretch for 12 to 7. So 42's out to me. I think you can take 43 at but the Cody blindside wasn't even in that. So I think it's between 44, 43, and 41.
It's definitely 41.
No, because the sham blindside happens there. That merge tribal happens there at 12. With
it was actually at 11.
So
I'm pretty sure, but...
Oh, well, there you go, 11. So then, I think to me, you can take 41 out. It's between 44 and 43.
I mean, 41 I would have to go with 40 to watch, if I'm being honest.
I get it, but I mean, you're thinking the whole season, especially that last like 3 episodes at 6, 5, and 4.
Things happened. If we're just saying if things happened, 41 and more things happening after merge.
Right, it did. So to me, it comes down to 43 and 44. I think I just maybe recency bias. I'm going to go for 44 being worse, just because from 12 to 7, there's literally.
I'm just going to say 43. Vote. I mean, 44 is the worst because I don't like it.
I'm saying for a more logical reason, but we agree on that. I can't defend this stretch of episodes. There's one decent vote in there. There's a little blindside, and there's another decent one. But the rest of it is actively mid Survivor, which is not good at all.
I mean, the Gabler taking out Ellie was better than anything that happened this merge.
What did you say? The Gabler being like, 7, I want to get out this person.
But this 7 does count. I don't know. See, it's tough. It's tough because the Gabler vote is the best one in 43, and this one is the best one this season for the 12 to 7. And I think to me, other than the Gabler vote, there wasn't much else in 43. Whereas in this one, you do have some supplementals like Danny playing the idol and the episode after that as well.
There were some great moves post merge for 43. You had. Remember when Jesse ended up voting out the guy who gave him his idol? That was pretty great, for strategy and TV.
Yeah, I don't think it was really focused on the episode though. That was more of I remember at the time us being like, why didn't they focus on that? So I don't think it's as maybe as good as
you get the Jesse. Then you get the Jesse getting betrayed. I mean, Cody getting betrayed by Jesse.
That's 6, not 7. This is 12 to 7.
I'm just saying that's another thing that happened post merge.
But we're talking about 12, only 12 to 7 for 43 and 44.
Okay.
So I think I'm kind of reconsidering now that I realized that this vote is counted in 12 to 7 for 44. I guess my kind of switch, I'm going to go with 43 being worse than, because I mean, from 12 to 7, what happens here? I mean, I believe Ellie's at 13 there, if I'm not confused. So that would be 12 to 7 would be people like Dwight going home. Ellie,
yeah, that was
sorry.
The White vote was good though.
Yeah, the White vote was good.
Janine. I mean,
Janine wasn't good.
Yeah, come on. I mean,
but Dwight was cool.
Dwight was cool, but I mean, I'll definitely.
No, I'm just talking about the fact that the White's the one that gave Jesse the idol, right?
Yeah, and then
I mean, again, it wasn't. Really
that was probably one of the best moves in Survivor.
All right, I'm talking about the episode.
I'm saying
that was part of the episode.
It's part of the episode.
Okay, let me rephrase.
I'll agree they should have edited it better, but it did happen and it was part of the episode.
So that's a knock on the episode then.
It's a knock, but it's also.
Well, I thought we were also saying that only the moves happen in the episode when we were talking about this stretch, because I said, oh, well, I didn't like watching 41, but you're like, okay, yeah, but more interesting stuff happened.
Yeah, because I hated everything that happened.
No, I said that it was just better. That's it. Bitter said that.
Okay.
Wait, what did I say?
Y'all didn't agree on the premise of what we were basing this argument on.
No, all I said is on 41 things happened.
Better.
Then I think that 41 has the worst episodes than out of the.
No, I agree. I'll agree with that.
If we're just talking straight episodes, then yeah.
I'll go 43.
Okay. Maybe the strategy in 41 was better, but
yeah, I mean, I think definitely the strategy in 41 is better. And to me, the strategy is almost everything as far as the characters driving the strategy. But we can agree to disagree on that.
Cool.
Would you be fine with Heidi winning?
No.
Yeah.
I think she's terrible.
But to be fair, you think a lot of people are terrible.
I have to think hard about this. It depends who she wins over. If she wins over any of the Tikas, except for Carolyn, I'll be pretty pissed if she wins over Carson or Jam Jam. If she wins over Lauren or Jamie, of course, I'll be satisfied. Carolyn, I'll have to get back to you on as Carolyn finishes out the game, especially because her edit's so giant. Somebody says, what was this one? I saw one. Did Carson only get 2 votes and Danny got 3? I believe Carson gets 2, Danny gets 3, Heidi gets 2. So it's a 2-2-3 vote here. No.
Yeah, it's 2-3.
Yep.
Okay. Someone says they them Evie is talking on RHAP. I'm not listening. That is a great take, Shane. And
You should
I
not be
agree.
listening to RHAP. You're correct.
Yeah, you shouldn't listen even when she's not on.
Those are the ops.
Yeah.
I mean, bitter is my op personally.
Opposition.
But
I'm pretty sure Rob's
our
also a
ops-
they them.
But our ops in general are RHAP. I mean, I wouldn't even call the specialists our ops because they've been views been tanking over there. I don't know. So
Yeah, I get more views than the specialists. Guys.
So I don't know. Wait, the idol didn't matter. Yes, exactly. So the idol didn't matter here. The vote was 5 on. It was basically the orange and purple tribe stuck together. Finally, the purple tribe didn't betray the orange tribe, and the orange tribe stayed loyal, like I guess a good dog would. And we saw those 5 collectively with the 3 Tika voting Danny, and the 2 orange tribe being Lauren and Jamie voting for Heidi. And then, of course, Danny and Heidi voted for Carson, which got canceled out. So the idol did not have to be played. And it was kind of confusing why they hyped it up. But I also get it because it makes the episode more fun. Even though, of course, it's like empty fun. It's like empty
fun,
calories, right? But at the end of the day, I would take empty fun over just a purely boring vote. But I don't think
it could have been interesting seeing them try to turn them over.
Right, exactly. But
we don't know that. It could have been boring.
Right. It also could have been boring. So I really can't complain. Like we did get a good episode. And I mean, at the end of the day, a good episode is a good episode, So we'll see.
I don't think it was good, but
well, I think
I don't know. This is a hot take, but I think the only good idol play this season was Brandon's.
Well, that's because it actually worked.
Well, Danny's
it was
too,
a very good idol play.
Well, yeah. Well, I don't think Danny's good because he voted her out 2 rounds later.
Yeah, and he took out a potential ally.
Which is if you're gonna play an idol for someone, I think that's already kind of crazy. But if you are it better be someone you're willing to work with for a good majority of the time. With him, he just voted her out. Yeah. What?
And none of the fake idols ever had an impact, really.
Yeah, they didn't really have an impact.
We had
Jamie gave hers away and lost it.
If you guys want to ask questions in the chat, just put a question mark at the end. We only answer questions with a question mark at the end, except for this one that doesn't have a question mark at the end. He says, "How do you guys feel about 90-minute Survivor?"
Not good because I wouldn't get to go to bed as fast.
Yeah, I kind of agree.
I disagree. I think more Survivor is always good Survivor. I guess
I would have loved 90-minute Survivor back in the day. Back in the 20s,
back in the good old racism.
I'm actually going to disagree with you. I think there's a lot of episodes in the old era that worked very well for 60 minutes and would not work for a 60-minute run.
I'm sure there's some for sure, but Modern Survivor, there's they're dragging it out. They have nothing. So 90 minutes.
I disagree. I think in Modern Survivor, especially in a good modern season, days, think Cambodia, think Game Changers.
Well, those are actually good seasons though.
Right. Again.
Yeah, I'm saying that's when I would have liked 90 minutes though.
Right. I get it, but obviously you can't prepare to have another shitty season. That's not how you prepare. No.
See, they shouldn't. I think they should. If they're gonna do it now with Modern Survivor, they should just hold it for if they're gonna do returning seasons, do 90 minutes.
Oh yeah, that'd be cool. I don't think returning seasons or 90-minute episodes.
But see, the thing is that the reason they're doing this is because there's no show to go after, but between Survivor and Amazing Race. Because
there's the writer's strike. There's gonna be a bunch of reality TV.
There's a writer's strike.
Yeah.
No. But that's not why though.
It is.
No,
wait, hold up. I did not know this.
Bitter. No, because this is reported way back. The reason is because I guess this show called The Real Love Boat got canceled last year, and it was supposed to go for a while, but then it just sucked so much off the bat that they took it off air, and so now there's no show between Amazing Race and Survivor, and of course that.
Okay.
Well, hold up.
Well, that sounds like a reality show, so I guess it doesn't make sense.
There's a writer's strike going on right now.
There is right now. There's a company that does a lot of the writing for Hollywood that's striking, and they want to get paid.
Isn't it WGA?
100 billion instead of 50 billion. I don't know. Who cares? But
it's everyone's like, who? Why are you guys striking when all you guys write is shit? No one cares that you're gone.
Yeah, I'll say this much. I think 90-minute episodes wouldn't be good in old school because I'm a tech nerd and I hate watching TV shows with black bars on both sides of the screen, and I couldn't have handled that for however many minutes that would have made me go through.
Watching OG Survivor.
Watching OG is so hard for me.
But see, you know what? Something I really like about OG Survivor is it just feels so much more, not even Survivor, but just OG reality. Like I remember I was watching The Mole, like the original
The
Mole show, which is by the way a great show. And a big reason why I liked it wasn't even the show's it's whatever. It's just it has that old school vibe. All old school reality TV feels real. because it's
Yeah.
real people. They just pick people up off the street and said, hey, like, you are a big personality. Come on TV and have a problem with somebody on television and make a bad decision. Like, that's what now it's like everyone has a social media account that they want to promote. Everyone has that business that they want to shout out. It's like it just doesn't feel real anymore. It feels like an influencer, you know.
Well, older seasons also had like it was like a major event. It felt like it was a big thing that everyone was
Right.
taking part in. But nowadays, it's like it's the same thing over and over. and
Right.
over.
Well, but nowadays it's like everyone's famous. Like, I mean, like any regular old Joe can get 10,000 followers on Instagram just by posting something interesting. Like, who cares if you're on Survivor? Who gives a shit? You know.
Oh, we didn't talk
It's not
about
the same.
Carolyn pretending she was a lobster. Did you guys love that?
Yeah. I
I
I
was
fan.
hoping
I
that
was
she
not a
would
fan.
accidentally crush her skull against the.
I thought she was gonna start. I thought she was gonna start
Accidentally
quoting
pushed.
Jordan Peterson, but
What?
Imagine,
What?
imagine that would be
Why?
that'd be very base. No,
he
Carolyn's
has a
the
very
last person.
famous thing
You know,
about lobsters.
No, but like, why would she? Oh, really?
Yeah.
Dude, no, I don't know. We got to get Carolyn off my screen. I'm tired of her. I can.
I thought
I
that was so
disagree.
weird. I thought there was meat in that lobster, and that's why they were fighting over
Yeah,
it.
me
Yes,
too. That's
agreed.
what they were fighting over. I was like, oh, you just want to.
They were fighting over who could
Why
wear the
did that-
pretty barrette in their
that
hair.
is such
I mean,
a
this
drug
is 26
addict
Why did you
thing,
throw that?
bro.
Why did you throw that lobster?
26-day Survivor right now, where they're fighting over
Let me tell you, I think Carolyn was on
who's going to wear
drugs
the
in that
lobster
scene.
hair barrette. Like,
Yeah.
Bro, I think Carolyn was on drugs in that scene actually because she said, "Hey, do you want this?" She was like, "Yeah, okay, let me give it to you." It was like, "Actually, wait, no, I want it." And then they rock paper scissors, and Carolyn got it. Like, why did you offer the thing if you're gonna like run to get it after you place it on the ground when you just said, "Oh, you can
True.
have it"? Like, it was dumb.
It's kind of messed up that Carolyn took that from a black person.
yeah, she's basically stealing black.
Lauren did not help the stereotype this
property.
episode, guys. She was the first person to leave the swim challenge, not helping the stereotype.
Williams says Jeff roasted the fuck out of Carolyn tonight.
That
26
literally says
days.
Lauren.
Are you shocked you've made it this far? She says, I'm not going to answer that. I'm too focused right now to lose the challenge first. Like,
However, said Carolyn when it literally says Lauren on the.
someone says, I have a theory that people hate good gameplay on Survivor. Bitter, thoughts on that?
I think it all depends on who's doing the good gameplay.
Right,
If you hate
right.
it or not.
Like
Lauren,
Lauren, could
Russell
play
makes it
a
entertaining
masterful-
when he does good gameplay. You know.
Right, like Lauren could play a masterful episode. We wouldn't care because we don't care about Lauren, right? It's just not the same. Whereas if someone like Jam Jam plays it, we're like, wow, like that's very impressive, like great gameplay because we know Jam, like we to some extent care about Jam Jam.
Do we care about Lauren? No.
Ali Dard says, honestly, I wish that they portrayed Danny as a Russell type villain more. Okay, so
Like
whereas
really being like, I hate
whereas
you, I
in-
hope you die.
whereas we're talking about how Danny should have got a better edit. I guess what she or he or whoever is saying is basically that he should have gotten more of an asshole edit because at least at that point he would have been fun to watch. Thoughts, guys?
I feel like they were trying really hard to fit Danny into the villain role, and he's not that character fully.
He isn't that guy.
So it didn't
But
work.
I think they could have leaned more into it, and that's an interesting way to look at it. I obviously have been looking at it as like, why are they giving the villain? I don't like that, but I do think it would be fun to see them really like lean into it and show him as that like Russell Hansian type of villain.
But maybe there wasn't enough there. Like that was all that was there. That
They could have.
had.
I mean, they turned his spick and span edit into a villain edit.
That's
They
what
could
I'm saying.
definitely turn it into a a worse edit from there.
Well, I'm saying I think maybe it was mostly all good stuff, and that's all the bad stuff they had, and they
I
were
don't
trying to
know.
make him a villain, so that's why it came off lame.
Maybe.
Like, they kind of did the same for Xander a little bit, if you remember. Towards the end, he started coming off like, "I'll do anything to win. I like when it rains. Everyone gets
What?
weaker. I get stronger."
I like
stuff.
when it
Remember
rains.
that? You don't remember that stuff?
I remember that.
Yeah.
It just
Yeah, so it's like I think at the last second they're trying to turn in like a guy who was like really nice to everybody into a villain. It doesn't really work.
Captain Cold I kind of reiterated what he was saying. He said what he really means is that bad moves get talked about more than good ones here. Thoughts?
yeah, because bad moves are funnier.
Right, and also they elicit more emotion where you're saying what the hell, whereas in a good move usually is something boring, right? It's not as
Well, that's why
out of the
Tony's
blue.
the best Survivor player, because he matched entertaining with also being a great player.
Right.
Real talk.
Because the whole point is
One of
like
them talks.
is like what you expect is a good move, and what you expect is not what you want to see all the time on Survivor. And so when a bad move happens, the reason that they get attention is because they're so unexpected. No one expects JT to write a letter to the biggest villain in Survivor history. Like that's unexpected, TV or whatever.
And I defend JT. I defend JT trying.
I'm a
stuff. It
Russell.
wasn't-
JT
Russell
defender,
does
too.
the same thing on his channel all the time.
Because he never
Los-
saw Russell in this season. So
I'm
Yeah.
betting. Smurfy says I'm betting Tika sticking together. Let's do that like percentage. What's your like percentage that Tika will stick together and get to, let's say, the final four together?
the Final Four. Oh, that's completely different than next.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because there's no more votes after that.
2%.
They've been really like hyping up the edit of like these guys are sticking together. So
Well,
I'm gonna say,
also
yeah.
in the post credit scene, shout out Marvel fans for post. What's it called? The Yami was like, "Oh, I'm mad about Carolyn," and they started crying, which I think means he's not going to vote out Carolyn.
Right.
So
Obviously, they showed it, which means
I'm gonna
it's probably
say
it could be Carolyn voting out Jam Jam.
the Carolyn isn't smart enough to do that, though.
Yeah,
so,
but like that could.
It's not even is she
that-
smart enough? Who is she going to convince?
Right.
That is true.
I get it, but it's like, I mean, again, we also thought, why would they vote out Danny here? It makes no sense.
I mean, that's what I'm saying, right?
So like anything can happen at this
the
point.
the good
players
move,
are
which
that
is
bad.
voting out Yam Yam, is not going to happen because first of all, Lauren and Jamie are too stupid to realize that.
I don't know. I mean,
And Carolyn
stupid
probably
players can
can't
stumble
bring together
into
the
good
troops to do it.
moves. I mean, anyone can stumble into a good
Dude,
move
this is like
if
the
they
most
smack them in the
easily
face.
like cohesive, like, oh yeah, let's vote, Carson because hey, he's and they didn't do that.
Everyone
I
said
don't think-
Carson's good. What has he done?
He's been in the power position for the entire game with
Besides
Jam
that.
Jam. Besides that,
I mean, besides like what separates
Okay,
him
go
from
ahead.
Carolyn and Yam Yam?
nothing.
Carolyn
They've all
sucks at Survivor.
Well, no. So hold on. Carolyn has played the game purely emotionally, whereas him and Jam Jam have clearly played the game to a different standard.
Sure.
So
From
then
edit, I'm talking about like
Jam
if you're gonna vote
Jam
for him and you're on the season.
Jam, like just Jam, because Carolyn is. I mean, you can't say that they're the same player, right?
No. I would say obviously Carson's better than Carolyn.
Okay,
I'm
cool.
saying
Okay,
if you're on
so
the
then-
season though, and you're gonna vote, what's Carson's argument that I did more than Carolyn?
We don't know, but I'm gonna take your question.
I
just
wasn't
in a
bitchy when someone
bit
got
of a
voted
different-
out and I didn't completely blow up and everyone's
right.
face.
Like Carson is much different. So I'm just gonna assume that really what you're asking is what separates him from Jam Jam, and really the true answer is nothing. I mean, they're basically.
Well,
they
I would
both
say
play great
Yam Yam
games.
has more over Carson.
Definitely, but
She survived
Yam's
more.
Real
But
talk.
definitely, I mean, but Yam Yam's a better player, so like
Yeah.
he could beat him. But
He
he's
talks.
also only one player at the end of the day. So if Jam Jam goes out, now it puts Carson in a great spot to win against almost anybody.
The only way the power position reason works is if you get there and the other two aren't there with you, right?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, the power position works as long as you're not there with the other power players that
Yeah,
you
you can't
also
use it as a
dominated the
reason.
game with. Right, exactly. I mean, that's kind of common sense. Like, obviously, Carson's not going to beat Jam Jam here.
Like honestly,
mean-
like it could be great TV if all three of them decided to betray each other at the same time. But I don't think that's gonna happen.
But they all decided to vote for each other, and
Yeah, like, well, if they all
it's a
realize right now
1-1-1
they-
split.
Like if you're sitting at that one of those three, you're thinking, man, what if I could grab one of these, like Jamie and Lauren, get to the end with them two, right? Like, you gotta
Right,
be
but
thinking
I
that.
just think you're so nervous and you just want to get to the end there. I think if I'm Carson and Jam Jam, I think the optimal move for both of them is probably just to go another day, just blindside of Heidi here or blindside of Jamie or whoever, and then go for a blindside at 5, because then
Yeah, I agree,
there's like no blowback after that, because the next quote unquote vote is a fire making.
Yeah, you want to take it. You definitely want to take out one more of these three stragglers.
Yeah. What if
Correct.
we just
Correct. And I
blindside the
think
mom
the best
instead?
one looking from the outside in is clearly Heidi. I mean,
Yeah, you
obviously,
take it. Oh, and she
you
got
hate-
it. I don't
but
too if they do
but
that.
it could be Lauren, because they've kind of hyped up Lauren as like that, like a player that's good, I guess, in the game to some extent.
Did they?
so.
I mean, they also hyped up Lauren. Remember when they said, "Wow, she's a great player. She's
I
lying
think
to
you
us."
just said Lauren. Do you mean someone else?
I mean, Jamie.
Jamie. Yeah, but I think the difference is Lauren's been targeted continuously. Jamie, to me, has not been targeted continuously, and if she was, then it wasn't for her gameplay at all. Whereas in
Yeah.
Lauren has, but they've been like, well, she's like her, and it's her or Danny,
But
like
that was Danny though targeting Lauren.
yes, I do think Heidi will carry on that tradition.
I don't know. I think Heidi's now in survival mode. She's willing to vote out anyone but herself.
Right, which could include the Ratu
Yeah,
members,
yeah.
especially if she's in a survival mode, then she would want to go with a strong majority that just tells her what to do.
I mean, Heidi's best hope is that they vote out one of those two. Which
And
I
then
mean, if you look at it, you
and
probably
then-
do.
yeah,
You probably do vote out one of those two over Heidi because they're a pair.
Yeah, and then she wins immunity at 5.
Well, she has an idol.
Survives.
No, then she plays her idol at 5.
Yeah, you're right. And then she wins fire and goes to the end. She has a pretty good path here to the end. In fact, what she could even do here, if she like really feels the heat, is play her idol here and then win at 5 and then win, fire at 4.
Yeah, but I don't know if she's gonna win. I think she's gonna. Her best bet is that they take out Lauren or Jamie.
Yes,
and she can save that idol.
If I'm her, I would rather play it here and put my game on the challenge next episode. Especially just because obviously you'd rather that than have the idol and go home at 6 with an idol in your pocket like Cody did, right?
Well, I guess
did Cody have an idol? Yeah.
No.
He didn't have an idol. Okay, gotcha.
No, didn't he give his idol to Jesse too?
I thought yeah.
Yeah. Yep, he did.
And then Jesse was surprised when we lost the game. When he
I don't think
his biggest ally.
I don't think Heidi it can at all expect to like count on a challenge win. I think she has to if she does play the idol here at 6, right? No, I'm kind of agreeing with you. And she plays it there at 6, which guarantees her 5. There's a better chance that 3 break up at 5.
Right.
Well,
that's her other way.
How many people are left in the game right now? 7 after this vote out, right? 6, or 6? What? Is it 6?
No,
6.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I don't think they're not going to target Heidi, right? Do you think next round?
I mean, there's a chance. No. There's a chance.
I feel like she's almost guaranteed Final 4. I think stuff would have to go really wrong if they target her next episode, honestly.
See, I would want to bring Heidi to the end because she also, you can use the whole, she betrayed you, Danny. Don't vote for her. She betrayed you.
I just think like the whole thing with Heidi's Ed, I think if she can get to the end, she has a great shot to beat anyone that's not named Jam or Carson, right?
Do you think she beats Carolyn?
Yes.
I actually don't think Carolyn. I don't know. Only people think Carolyn beats is Lauren, and
I just think Heidi's.
It depends how she gets
Heidi's
there.
been shown to be clearly a better player than Carolyn in every facet.
Yeah.
The only thing that Carolyn has more is screen time, which is
I don't know about
the end all be all.
I think Carolyn's a better player.
Carolyn voted for her number 1 ally and then looked stupid being the only one to do it.
Right.
She also tells everyone her number 1 ally has an idol.
There.
Yeah, we agree with you. We agree with you. We think Heidi's better than Carolyn.
No, I'm saying the opposite.
Oh.
Okay. So Carolyn voted for number 1 ally and then looked stupid, and that's why she's
no. Heidi voted for
Heidi voted for number 1.
You said Carolyn then there.
Oh, then my bad. Sorry.
Okay. Yeah, I mean,
I don't think Heidi has anything under her name to say what she did. She looks.
I just think that, let's be honest. We get to the final 3. Who do you think is going to give a cohesive argument as to why they should win, and who do you think is going to look retarded when they give an argument? It's going to be Carolyn who looks.
That is a good point. I think she
as well. Yeah, I mean, I think that adds on. But even taking that out of the equation, which is extremely important, I just think overall that Carolyn did not play at that great of a game. She has moves, which Heidi does not have as much. But at the end of the day, we've seen people who have no moves, Erica, just win off of the fact that people just feel like they're a better player than the other players in the tribal. Think, for example, Deshauna in 41. Deshauna has all these moves, all this power, but people just think he's a bad player. They just see him and they think, he's just not a good player.
And Carolyn screaming at everyone after tribals.
And Carolyn, everyone's going to be screaming at Carolyn at Final Tribal that she's not a good player. So if someone like Deshauna can just kind of get to the end and just people don't like you, you're just not that good of a player.
Maybe because he's black, and it's the racist.
That's why all the black people that got mad at him. But no,
Uncle Ruckus is in the chat. I don't know.
We're saying the only way Carolyn has a chance of winning is if both Carson and Yam Yam aren't there, right?
Correct, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
So then it really depends on how much Yam Yam still likes Carolyn after being voted out, because I think he could sway the whole jury to vote for her.
I really don't buy this whole sway the jury thing. I think that's really stupid. I just, in this new era where everyone wants to be like an independent whatever person, I just don't buy the whole swaying the jury thing. I think there's still some sort of tribal alliance or alliance to goes to the jury thing, and I could see Carolyn getting Jam and Carson's votes, but I don't buy the whole now Jam's going to go to Ponderosa and sway Franny on where she that's just.
But we saw today, right? We saw how much that Lauren and Heidi both liked Yam Yam. They were saying everyone loves Yam Yam.
Is that why they didn't vote for them?
That's what I think. I think because if remember during the challenge, right, when Yam Yam wins, aren't they cheering super hard? It's I thought you guys were targeting him.
I don't know. I just think it's a reach.
I mean, at that point, he has immunity. So
gets voted out and then convinces the people like Matt and Franny to vote for who he wants to vote for. That's just to me. That's just kind of.
I'm not saying it's a guarantee that he could sway everybody, but there is definitely a chance.
I think it's unlikely. Who's the LVP and who's the MVP, and then we'll be out of here.
Close race between Lauren and Jamie, I think.
So the LVP to me has to be Wait, who was left out? Yeah, it was Heidi. It has to be because she's the only one left out of the vote here.
At least she like actually made a good decision.
Totally
when she
get it.
voted.
Totally get it.
Yeah,
But again,
I'm gonna say Lauren.
This is
Lauren and
just
Jamie.
this episode though. But just this episode.
I know
the
this
only person-
episode they made one of the worst. Like I don't understand like decisions.
Like it worked out for them because they played the idol, but
Right.
like when you're
Okay.
looking at the jury's looking at you, it looks like you just rolled over and did nothing.
It doesn't.
That is so true.
It doesn't change my mind, but I do now understand why you guys would pick somebody else. But I'm still gonna go with the only person who was left out of the vote.
I'm gonna pick Jamie just because I think
Fair enough.
she's uglier than
Okay, fair enough.
Lauren.
Bitter.
That's the tiebreaker, by the way.
I'm
That's
gonna
my
say
tiebreaker.
Lauren
Who's
because she's
uglier?
a single mom.
Oh, that's a good point too.
Okay, MVP for this episode, Carson or Jam.
James.
I think it's Jam
Yeah,
Jam
yeah,
here
yeah.
because he not only wins immunity, but on top of that, I think he shows kind of Carson as a threat here, and then is able to save him, obviously. And of course, Carson and Jam together flipped over these Ratus, just absolute idiot Ratus, basically into ruining their entire game.
I want to bring this up, even though it's probably it's a little spoilerly because like it's edited. Like they keep showing Carson with like the fire.
Yes, yep.
That
Like
is
they
true.
showed him standing, like last episode, standing with the fire in slow mo, and this
They thought
episode
that
they slow mo
seems
the
tough,
fire
though,
in his
wasn't it?
glasses. And that's
I
like
think that's a bit of a
little on
stretch.
the
The second one,
nose.
but
What this one I thought was super obvious. Like they really slow mo.
are you talking about in tribal council or
No. Why he was like before tribal council, he was like looking at
Oh,
the fire and they were
I
talking
must have
about
not
him
looked.
as
I
being an
must have not
option.
seen that part. 'cause
And
I
they had
didn't
like
see
the
that part.
fire like reflecting in his glasses. I'm like, you
I
guys
must have
aren't
not seen
subtle
that
at all.
part because I don't remember that. So I was
Yeah, I mean,
probably looking at the Monster Legends.
The way I see it is, it's like they're foreshadowing it, and this is gonna be that he wins fire, and it's to me, it's most likely that he loses fire.
I think
which
if they're
to
gonna
me is
foreshadow,
a
it's gonna be
perfect
a
spot.
lose.
Like based on it, it just really feels like a fire boot edit.
Yeah, and
the
he would
way
definitely
this did
lose
it.
because he's a bitch.
I mean, if you look at who is he going to lose to? Like everyone else is a
Jam
bitch
Jam.
too.
Jam, he's probably
Right.
I just
Jam
might be
Jam gonna make
racist,
it
but like
fire.
he's Puerto Rican. He lived up.
Yeah,
he lived on the island.
I just
you
think
know,
that the edit is pointing to if it's Jam and Carson. Do you think Jam's gonna lose? That would be so lame. If
yeah,
Jam
that would be
lost
lame if
that.
Jam loses in fire. That's really anticlimactic.
Well, I mean,
Yeah,
if it's
you
against
ask me.
Carson, you'd probably be like, well, at least Carson's now in the final.
Yeah, I
Cola
don't know.
is my
The
soda.
edit has shown
Cola is my
Jam
son.
to be the more deserving winner.
I mean, the
here.
only person I think who's deserving at this point is Jam Yam.
I
Danny
think
had
I
an
would be-
argument.
I
I think
wouldn't
Carson's
be
done nothing,
angry
really.
well, yes, I agree. Jam is the clear person who deserves to win at this point. I wouldn't be angry with a Carson win. You got to get back to me with a Carolyn win, depending on how she plays the rest of the season.
Carolyn Wynn would be so insufferable.
Heidi to me is like teetering on bad, and obviously Jamie and Lauren would be devastating.
Imagine Carolyn wins, dude. She's gonna be so insufferable.
Yeah, Carolyn.
I mean, you have to think everybody like who's on the story already knows who won. Like everyone on Twitter who's tweeting, they already know who wins the season, which is scary.
I mean, unless you're like Jamie and you're just stupid, you probably forgot.
Imagine you have like dementia, you forget who won this
Wait,
season.
I thought
Joe Biden
Heidi
won the
won.
season.
What? I wait, Danny got voted out? I thought he won.
Yeah, he's not even in the final three. You
He's
dumbass.
not even in the final six. What?
I don't remember voting out, Dan.
Yeah. What do you? And then yeah, we did MVP, right? So we're good.
Yeah, we already
Yeah,
said
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Awesome. Great. What's going on in the Skylander universe? I'm very curious.
My video I posted got a lot of views, so that's cool.
That is
100K 3 weeks. So
100K 3 weeks. That's pretty nuts.
Mhm, but-
Better.
yeah, that's it.
Better.
Yeah,
Continue.
Bitter did not get 100K in 3 weeks. Also,
He got 0K in 3 weeks because he's posted 0 videos.
did you get a
No.
K?
I didn't come on this podcast to get roasted.
you
We're
get a
not,
K at
bro.
least? You know?
We love you,
Did
Bitter.
you get a
We
K?
love you.
Because Bitter has 1K subscribers.
I mean, I'm just joking. I don't know what. You think I look
said,
at my
do you-
channel?
Do you even know you have 1,000 subscribers? I didn't know that. I thought you had like 800.
Oh yeah, I
so-
did. Don't I? Yeah.
Yeah, Bitter. Is
So
there
cute.
any video coming soon? Speaking of followers, subscribers, all this stuff.
Yeah, speaking of coming, yeah.
I don't know.
What?
I'm really just like I need passion to make a video, and this season's like
Hopefully
very
45.
passionate.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, again, we're the cycle will continue.
Yeah,
but of
you
course-
guys. I mean, he always does at least one video per season, you know. So
Not
Right,
I don't think I did one last season.
did you do 40? Did you do a 43 video?
No, I didn't. It's because the 43
You're
was
such
fine.
a
I
43
never
hog
got, like,
writer that you what?
it's not like 43 was just like fine, so it was never needed any video really. I was gonna make one
Well,
on
I
Gable
thought you
being the
usually make it.
best
You
modern
make
winner.
a video about the cast or whatever, you know.
No, that's actually I think just No, I don't usually do that. But
Survivor 44, one of
I
the
don't-
worst
if there's
casts
gonna
in
be
Survivor history. The
90
cast of Survivor 42 was woke. That's like
there's gonna be 90-minute episodes. I don't know if I'm gonna keep watching this.
I think that could either do really, really well or backfire, and obviously we get shitty episodes. We will just have to see.
It's like I'm
Let's
not
just
falling
not
asleep at like
I
the
think-
half hour.
I
point.
think
If
I
it
think
ain't
especially
broke, do not fix it.
especially during the pre-merge, I think it's gonna be really, really helpful. I mean, imagine this pre-merge with 90-minute episodes. I think it's a good thing. Obviously, I'm sure you guys will disagree, but I think to me that's a good thing, especially during the pre-merge. Post-merge, especially if you have episodes like we had in this stretch, you know, at the start of this post-merge, it would be insufferable. I mean,
ID
but,
came in.
I mean, you're just catching me at the wrong time, Spencer.
No,
If you would have
it's-
asked me like 10 years ago how much I love when the idea of 90-minute
some
episodes,
people weren't even
I'd be
alive
like
10
all
years ago,
for it.
bro. You think
Yeah, like
these-
10,
these
like
young kids
9-year-olds.
know
I just
exactly
think
what you're
at the
talking
end of the day, the more Survivor, if
I
it's
don't know,
worse, then the episodes are already bad. I'm fine with that.
I feel like they're deprived for content. There's
I would-
26 days.
I
It's
would,
not
I
like-
would, I would rather have good episodes be better and bad episodes be worse than have just regular base.
Would you rather eat like a half a piece of a shit sandwich or a full piece?
Bitter, that is not comparable.
Sometimes more is not better, you know?
Okay, all right. Well, that is clearly not comparable. But
I
what
didn't
is
say it was, I'm
comparable
just asking.
is this
that
episode
ass. Okay.
and my podcast, because I will be back this week. I know everyone was scared that I died. People in the server, the Discord server, which, by the way, for people asking, we'll open up on finale night as soon as the episode ends for those who want to get in. But people in the server were like, Spencer died. No, guys, I really didn't feel like making videos this week. It was a boring episode. There really wasn't much to discuss here. The recap would have been me just trust me, guys. You really did not want a video from
The only
me.
reason, guys, why the
You're just so
recap couldn't
negative,
happen
Spencer, about
is
this season.
because Spencer's really bad at timing. He always said, "Hey guys, let's do
Yes,
11,"
and
he's
then-
like, "Oh,
and
I'm
then-
sorry, I'm not there." I'm
And
like,
then the power ranking was completely my fault as far as it not coming together. Partly because I just didn't really give a shit, but also because I was out and then I came back and I was out again. And yeah, these two guys
I was
got,
out too. Though.
got
I
left
had pretty
hanging basically 4
interesting
times in a
things
row.
Yeah,
going
for the
on.
people who
We-
are mad that I don't show up for the power rings, I would have been there this week.
Yes, you would.
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
You
The
know
one
what?
time you would have been there.
leave a hate comment on this video. And
Good
in
bunch
the
of-
meantime, guys,
I do like
share.
the one guy who
Make
compared us to.
give this
like,
video the same amount
you're
of
the
dislikes as
dude,
likes.
I'm
Oh wait, you can't
Walter,
see the dislike thing anymore.
and then Sky's Donnie. That's perfect.
I'm Donnie.
Interesting,
What?
interesting.
From
So,
from Big Lebowski.
anyways, like, share,
Oh.
subscribe, do all that good stuff. It's free, it's easy, and it really helps the channel out. And that's what I'm talking to you guys in the next. Peace.